But to keep my promise, I'm going to tell you what happened on the Peter Boyles show and the Peter Boyles debacle. It's funny, Dennis and I were talking when we went off there. Dennis said, now you do know that I do know who Mike Zullo is. I said, oh yeah, I got it. He said, I just wanted to set you up there, brother. Who's Mike Zullo? He's the lead investigator. Oh, I knew that. And that's what Peter Boyles did to me for an hour last Friday. Here's what happened, folks. Here's the deal. So people are sending me these clips. I'm listening to them. And I'm saying, what's speculation? This speculating, which is fine. But, I mean, I've got some good information that Zullo has given me permission to release, and I thought, well, if Peter's sincere, he's going to want to hear this. I can help him. I can help his audience. So I had the people who book me for various shows, I had them contact Peter Boyles and Peter Boyles' producer and line that up. And so they finally lined it up after, I think, about a week and a half or a couple of weeks, and they had me on last Friday. Now, when I came on the show last Friday, I told you that I had just been on his program, and there was already a video on ppsimmons. I told you could go listen to it if you'll remember that. Well, in that interview, I was booked for 15 minutes. Peter Boyles kept me on for an hour. And every time we came back from break, he kept saying, folks, I've got a great guest today, Carl Gallups. I've got a great guest, Pastor Carl Gallups. Now, this guy knows his stuff. I don't know if he said those words, but basically that's what he was intimating. And he even introduced me by saying, welcome, Pastor Gallups. He says, listen, I've interviewed you before on the radio station I was on, another radio station. And he said, I've had you on before. It's good to have you back. I said, well, Peter, it's great to be with you. So we went off. Well, I made some revelations there, and near the end of the show, and I know what happened. We went to break. Everything was going fine till we went to break, and then he came back, and he says, now, Reverend Gallups, I've got to tell you, I've been talking to you for 45 minutes. I've not heard anything new. I'm going to tell you, when he said that, I knew that he had gotten a phone call or an email. My jaw hit the ground because I had already given 2 new revelations, plus 3 times during his show, I offered to give him exclusive breaking information for his audience only, and he never asked me, Dennis, to give it. He never said, well, give us that. Never. Can you imagine if Sheriff Arpaio came on my show, for example, and said, Carl, I've got exclusive breaking information for your audience only. And he said that 3 times in an hour, and I never asked Sheriff Arpaio to give it. Can you imagine? Again, buffoonery. So anyway, that happened in that first hour-long interview last Friday. But at the end of the interview, he said, I tell you what, he said, can I have you back on next Tuesday? I'm going to have you back on next Tuesday. That's what we're going to do. And so Casey, his producer, said, line him up for next Tuesday. Well, now I know what happened. Probably one of his shills, had sent him an email or was on the line, and they lined all this up. Because what happened, Monday, they were on the air, and he was on the air with Lawrence Sellin. Now, for those of you that don't know these people, look up Peter Boyles on Google, look up Lawrence Sellin, Colonel Lawrence Sellin. In fact, put this in Google, Peter Boyles fired. Look that up. Look up Colonel Lawrence Sellin fired. Okay, just look up those things. Not pretty. It's on the internet. I'm not saying it, the internet's saying it. I'm telling you how to look them up. So he has Colonel Lawrence Sellin on, and they're talking back and forth and trashing me and trashing Zullo and second-guessing everything that I said. In the meantime, Boyle says to Sellin, yeah, well, look, I'm going to interview Gallups tomorrow. Said, you want to come on and be co-host with me? And Sellin says, oh, well, yeah, I'll do that. It's, as though they've never talked about this before. I'm listening to this, and people were calling me saying, are you going to go on the show? It's a setup. It's a sabotage. It's an ambush. It's a tag team. Don't go on the show. I said, yes, I'm going to go on the show. A couple of buffoons like that? Who are they? Yes, of course I'll go on the show. I have nothing to hide. Everything I've spoken is truth. And if I speak an untruth, I'll get it right. I mean, sometimes I misspeak, as we all do. So I'm not a liar. I'm not a deceiver. Yes, I'll go on the show. I don't care. So I went on the show Tuesday. Woo! Dennis, the fireworks. Oh, it was fun. Folks, listen, here's what you do. And we're running out of time on this segment, but here's what you do. Go to carlgallups.com. On the right-hand side of the page, underneath this section, in fact, I'm looking at it now, I'm going to tell you, underneath the section that says Special Features, on the right-hand side, it says the Peter Boyles, KNUS debacle, okay? Click on that, and it'll carry you to the videos and the audios of the interviews, plus the video that was put together showing all the doublespeak and the absolute deception from Peter Boyles and Lawrence Sellin, and you just hear it for yourself. I mean, the audio is there. These guys are either abject liars, in my opinion, or being purposefully deceitful for some odd, nefarious reason, or complete buffoons. Now, that's my opinion. I could be proven wrong in that, but I mean, it's what it sounds like to me. Now, here's the deal. So every time they talk, they are attempting to discredit me and or Mike Zullo. Now, that's odd, given the fact, Dennis, that Arpaio and Zullo are the only ones in the only ones in the world doing an actual criminal investigation Arpaio has a separate criminal investigation of crimes that were committed in Maricopa County right out of the White House. Arpaio has said that publicly. He's got that going. Zullo has the whole birth certificate debacle going, the forgery, the fraud, the fabrication. And considering that they're the only ones that have a criminal investigation, forensic evidences, witnesses, factual evidences, document evidence, and then they're speculating on all of it and attempting to discredit it.
Now, why do you think that is?
Well, now
give me your opinion.
Now, I'm going to speculate.
That's right.
Okay? This is my speculation. I could be proven wrong. There's either one thing, they're just complete buffoons,
okay,
and media hounds, publicity hounds. Or number two, they're mad and or jealous that I know something they don't know. I mean, I hate to say that because it sounds like I'm pumping myself. Or you've got a counterintelligence program going on here.
Do they have an agenda?
Well, I mean, obviously
Perhaps.
they have an agenda. So, I mean, and I don't know that they're involved in some counterintelligence program. But think about it. Look, you've got the Obama bots out there who are constantly attacking me and Zullo and Arpaio, et cetera, and all these investigations. Now, when I'm on the air with Boyles and Sellon, and the Obama bots, if they're listening, who do you think the Obama bots are cheering on? Boyles and Sellon, because they're doing just what the Obama bots do.
Right.
Oh, Gallups is an idiot. Zullo's a fool. Arpaio's a fool. They don't have anything. Well, now, wait a minute. That's odd. So, anyway, but listen, on their show, let me just tell you.